Bhagavatam Krishnasya
Krishnasya. Word for word translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. 118.1. Sutta Vacha. Sri Sutta Goswami said. Yaha, one who. Vai, certainly. Drauniyastara, by the weapon of the son of Drauna. Viplushta, burned by. Na, never. Matu, of the mother. Udare, in the womb. Mritaha, met his death. Anugrahat, by the mercy. Bhagavataha, of the personality of Godhead. Krishnasya, Krishna. Adbhut Karmanaha, who acts wonderfully. Sri Sut Goswami said, due to the mercy of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who acts wonderfully, Maharaj Parikshit, though struck by the weapon of the son of Drona in his mother's womb, could not be burned. Purport. The sages of Naimisharanya became struck with wonder after hearing about the wonderful administration of Maharaj Parikshit, especially in reference to his punishing the personality of Kali and making him completely unable to do any harm within the kingdom. Suta Goswami was equally anxious to describe Maharaj Parikshit's wonderful birth and death. And this verse is stated by Suta Goswami to increase the interest of the sages of Naimisharanya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining. So, we are at a very nice juncture in Srimad Bhagavatam. We have heard so many different stories. We have completed 17 chapters. This is a milestone. It's huge. So, in the beginning of this particular canto, Suta Goswami is questioned by the sages in Naimisharanya. Naimisharanya is a place in India. It's a forest. It is a forest where nobody blinks their eyes. Actually, this is a metaphor because this is used for those sages who were sitting there for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Suta Goswami. So Nimisha means one moment. Naimish means one who do not blink their eyes. So these sages were so much engrossed in hearing the katha from Suta Goswami, they didn't want to miss a moment. They didn't have a chance to blink their eyes. So that's why this forest is known as Naimisharanya. So whenever devotees come together to listen Srimad Bhagavatam, if we pay that much attention while hearing, that we don't feel like blinking our eyes, then we can receive the same benefit, just like this sages received. So it's very important for the listener and for the speaker to be completely engrossed in this katha, Krishna katha, the pastimes of Krishna. So Krishna says that Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvata tato mam tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti suarjuna. Anyone who truly understands that my birth and my activities are divine after giving up this body, they do not take another material body because they go back to Krishna. So, what does it mean to truly understand? That means to to be completely absorbed in hearing and glorifying Krishna. There is not even a moment when we can live either speaking about Krishna or listening about Krishna. That kind of absorption qualifies one to go back home, back to Godhead. So Suta Goswami is so anxious to describe about Parikshit Maharaj, about Shukdev Goswami, about what they discussed, about Vyasdev. So he has been describing so many things in this canto. He also described how Parikshit Maharaj received the age of Kali. Parikshit Maharaj was so strong that he could absorb the poison of Kali. He could neutralize Kali. He was about to kill Kali because Kali was punishing or harming Mother Earth in the form of a cow and personality of religion in the form of a bull. He was ready to kill. Parikshit Maharaj was ready to kill Kali, who was disguised as a king. But because this Kali, he took shelter of Parikshit Maharaj, and a king is supposed to protect anybody who comes to take shelter. So Parikshit Maharaj could absorb the poison of Kali. He gave him 4 places to live, where there is intoxication, where there is illicit sex, where there is gambling, where there is meat eating, and 5th place where there is gold. Because wherever there is gold, there is falsity. So Parikshit Maharaj could neutralize Kali. It was like maybe less than 1% of the world where he could stay, where the Kali could stay. It could not infiltrate the entire world as we see it today. So this can be compared to a prison house. There's certain section of population which are criminal. So for them, the government creates a prison cell, and they are neutralized in the sense that they do not contaminate the rest of the society. So they are accommodated by the government in the prison cell, but they are separated from the civilians so that they do not contaminate the rest of the society or infiltrate or negatively affect the society. Similarly, Parikshit Maharaj could capture Kali, and Kali could not harm the general populace. So that is what Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport. So Suta Goswami is very anxious to describe about Maharaj Parikshit's wonderful birth and death, because not only about Krishna, even if we hear about a devotee's birth and death, that is also purifying. Krishna says, actually this comes from Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva says to Mother Parvati that Aradhanam api sarvesham Vishnur Aradhanam param tasmat partaram devi tadyanam samarchanam. That out of all kinds of worship, the worship of Lord Vishnu is the best. But better than worship of Lord Vishnu is the worship of his paraphernalia or his devotees, anything that belongs to Lord Vishnu. As we know, the proverb or the saying in the West, love me, love my dog. So if we love Krishna, we should love Krishna's servants, Krishna's devotees, Krishna's paraphernalia. So here, Suta Goswami, because he has so much deep affection for Krishna, he has even more affection for devotees of Krishna. In 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukdev Goswami is explaining to Parikshit Maharaj why the inhabitants of Vrindavan were so much affectionate to Krishna, more than their own sons. They were affectionate to Krishna. Parikshit Maharaj was bewildered. How can they be more affectionate than their own sons to Krishna? Then Shukdev Goswami was saying that every living being is affectionate or protects one's own body because it's very dear to one. Why is it dear? Because the soul lies in this body. As long as there is no soul, one won't care for the body. Even if there's a loved one, we have been if we have been staying the whole life with the loved one, as soon as the soul leaves the body is sent to crematorium or for burning. So actually, we love a body, we have care for a body as long as the soul is there. Now, Krishna is the soul of our soul. Krishna says in chapter 10, Bhagavad Gita, that I am the life of all that lives, that I am situated in everybody as Paramatma. So he is the soul of the soul. How much more we will love Krishna if we love ourselves so much. So that's why devotees in Vrindavan have so much affection for Krishna, and we all have that. We just have it is covered over by material contamination. Now, Lord Vishnu says in Srimad Bhagavatam that my devotees are my heart. He says, Sadhunam Hridayam Mahiyam. Sadhunam Hridayam. So that the devotees are in my heart, and I am in the heart of my devotees. Sadhunam Hridayam Tuham. Madanyate na jananti naham tebhyo managapi. They do not know anyone but me, and I do not know anyone but them. So these devotees are in the heart of Krishna. So Krishna is in the heart of a living entity, and these devotees are in the heart of Krishna. How much more affection a devotee will have for another devotee? A devotee automatically has love for Krishna, but the devotees are in the heart of Krishna. So here Suta Goswami is more anxious to describe about Parikshit Maharaj. That's why he wants to describe the birth and death of Parikshit Maharaj. Another thing that we can notice here, he is not only anxious to describe about the birth, he's anxious to describe about the death also. Because for a devotee, both are auspicious. We celebrate the appearance day and the disappearance day of a devotee. When the devotee comes to this material world, it is auspicious for the entire world because he glorifies Krishna. He brings so many conditioned souls to Krishna consciousness. And when he leaves this world, he goes to eternal service to Krishna. So, Parikshit Maharaj's birth and death both are auspicious, unlike any other conditioned souls. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he would glorify his devotees, he would glorify as if he had 5 mouths. It is given in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So devotees have no envy towards other devotees. They are actually so much affection. There is so much affection for other devotees. This should show us our progress in Krishna consciousness, how much affection we have for other devotees. Even more than Krishna, we should have affection for devotees of Krishna. That's why Prabhupada says that we go out and give classes to anywhere and everywhere. We give books everywhere, even places where people are not fit to receive this knowledge. Because devotees know the heart of Krishna. Krishna wants everybody to be back home. And devotees, they go even to those places where they don't ask for it, which are not fit places. They go to bars, they go to people who are maybe even lowest in terms of they actually are against Krishna. They actually pray for him, pray for those people if they are not able to receive. They serve prasadam, they do kirtans. So somehow or the other, they want to liberate the people in general, even if they don't take up through the practice. That is Krishna consciousness movement. Another thing that is mentioned in this verse is Adbhut Karmana. Adbhut Karmana means one whose activities are wonderful. So whatever Krishna does, it's wonderful. There's a chapter in Krishna book, Wonderful Krishna. So whatever Krishna does is wonderful. So many pastimes are given in Krishna book. Now we have Janmashtami is coming. It's very nice time to read that chapter. At least that chapter, if not the entire Krishna book. So we can meditate upon wonderful qualities of Krishna. There's a pastime with Srila Prabhupada when the disciples are telling Srila Prabhupada, everything about this movement is so wonderful. This prasadam is wonderful, this kirtan is wonderful, these books are wonderful, and what else? They are saying, Prabhupada, you are the most wonderful. I think that's if.
It was that they had these sweet balls called
Sweet balls. Yeah. The simply wonderful.
So Prabhupada, the philosophy is simply wonderful. The prasadam is simply wonderful. You're simply wonderful. And said, Prabhupada, you're simply wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhu. So there was a sweet ball that they used to serve as prasadam. They were named as simply wonderful. And Prabhupada was appreciating that everything about Krishna consciousness is simply wonderful. And devotees replied back, Prabhupada, you are simply wonderful. So that is the glory of a devotee of Krishna. He can give this wonderful Krishna just like a sweet ball. That is his potency. He can give you Krishna just like a prasadam, just like you receive prasadam. So that is why it is important to discuss about devotees even more than Krishna. So Krishna's activities are wonderful, adbhut. I was thinking yesterday we were actually heating some prasadam in the oven yesterday or day before, and it started burning because we forgot to take it up, and it was almost burned, but somewhat saved. But imagine if something is completely burned, but still it comes out perfect. It is burned to it's kept more than 10-15 minutes, but still it comes out properly. That is Krishna's potency. Parikshit Maharaj was completely burned by this Brahmastra of Dronacharya, the son of Drona, Ashwatthama, but still he was completely protected. Nothing happened to him. So that is the potency of Krishna. It's adbhut, it's wonderful. So Krishna does this not once, but again and again. He does this in the pastime of Aghasur, the snake demon, or the big python. So all the cowherd boys, they enter the mouth of Aghasur just as a sporting pastime. And then Aghasur is waiting for Krishna to enter. And after Krishna enters the mouth of this big python, he closes his mouth, and then he's happy. Now he's going to kill all of them. But Krishna expands his body, and he bursts out of the body of Aghasur, and this is how Aghasur was killed. And there were these cowherd boys who were lying dead. But simply by Krishna's glance, they were all revived. This is another wonderful pastime. Another story is of Kalia. When Kalia was living in the lake near Yamuna, the lake was poisoned. So the cowherd boys and the calves, they drank that water and they died. But Krishna, after subduing Kalia, he just revived them with his glance. Also, we know the story of Sandipni Muni. After Sandipni Muni gave instructions, the knowledge to Krishna and Balram, he asked for Guru Dakshina. He asked for something in return for the education. That was to bring back his dead sons. And Krishna brought his dead sons back. Same request was made by Devaki. Devaki asked for her 6 sons who were killed by Kamsa, and Krishna brought them back from Yamraj. So Krishna has done it not only once, but again and again and again. Similarly, when we go out to distribute this knowledge in terms of book distribution, prasadam distribution, kirtans, any ways we connect these people who are conditioned, these people are actually living dead. They are walking dead because they have not connected to Krishna. They have forgotten Krishna. But when we give them Krishna in terms of prasadam and kirtans and books, we are actually giving them life. So it's not that Krishna only did those pastimes 5,000 years ago. They are happening today by the mercy of his devotees, like Srila Prabhupada. They are reviving people today. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that one whose occupation does not give him the principles of religion, and one whose religion does not give him detachment from the world, one whose detachment doesn't give him devotional service, na tirath pad seva ye jivan api mrito hi sa. Even if they are living, they are almost dead. So when we give Krishna consciousness to such people and they take it, then it's like reviving them from the dead to life. I will read one more purport because we have time. I think we can cover one more purport. This is text 2. Furthermore, Maharaj Parikshit was always consciously surrendered to the personality of Godhead, and therefore he was neither afraid nor overwhelmed by fear due to a snake bird which was to bite him because of the fury of a Brahmana boy. Purport. A self-surrendered devotee of the Lord is called Narayana Parayana. Such a person is never afraid of any place or person, not even of death. For him, nothing is as important as the Supreme Lord, and thus he gives equal importance to heaven and hell. He knows well that both heaven and hell are the creations of the Lord, and similarly, life and death are different conditions of existence created by the Lord. But in all conditions and in all circumstances, remembrance of Narayana is essential. The Narayana Parayana practices this constantly. Maharaj Parikshit was such a pure devotee. He was wrongfully cursed by an inexperienced son of a Brahmana who was under the influence of Kali. And Maharaj Parikshit took this to be sent by Narayana. He knew that Narayana, Lord Krishna, had saved him when he was burned in the womb of his mother. And if he were to be killed by a snake bite, it would also take place by the will of the Lord. The devotee never goes against the will of the Lord. Anything sent by God is a blessing for the devotee. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit was neither afraid of nor bewildered by such things. That is the sign of a pure devotee of the Lord. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a verse where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe ke. If Krishna wants to protect someone, who can kill him? And if Krishna wants to kill someone, who can protect him? So a devotee understands this, he appreciates this, and he accepts both these situations, whether the difficulties or so-called happiness and pleasures of the world, as mercy of Krishna. But the most important thing is, but in all conditions and in all circumstances, remembrance of Narayana is essential. The Narayana Parayana practices this constantly. This verse comes from 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayana para sarve na kutasyan bibyati swarga apavarga narkeshu api tulyat darshina. In the context of Chitra Ketu, who was cursed by Mother Parvati to become a demon. Chitraketu was a pure devotee. He had darshan of Sankarshan and he was glorifying Krishna in an airplane. and he saw Mother Parvati sitting on the lap of Lord Shiva, and he passed a remark to Lord Shiva, which was somehow taken as an offense by Mother Parvati, and she cursed Chitraketu to become a demon. And Chitraketu came down from his airplane and he offered obeisances to Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva, and he accepted the curse as mercy of Mother Parvati. So, in that context, Lord Shiva says that the devotees of Lord Narayana, they are never fearful of any condition of life. Swarga apavarga narkeshu, whether it is heaven or it is hell, api tulyarth darshina, they are equal to the devotee. Why? Because the most important thing is the Narayana, remembrance of Narayana. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Srila Prabhupada, when he came to the Western world, he was always hankering for Vrindavan. But because of his preaching, he created so many Vrindavans. So a devotee, because of his remembrance of Krishna, is always living in Vrindavan. Prabhupada said, I am not living in Los Angeles, I am living in Vrindavan. Because his heart is Vrindavan. He's always remembering Krishna. So Krishna, wherever Krishna is there, that place is Vrindavan. Lord Ram says in the Ramayana, he says this, he gives a promise, Sakri Deva Prapannoyas Tava Asmi Iti Yachate Abhayam Sarvada Tasmai Dadami Etad Vratam Mama. He says that even once if somebody says, my Lord, from this day on I am yours, to that person I give complete fearlessness. That is my vow. So if we take shelter of Krishna only once, then Krishna awards us fearlessness. Even if we want to take it back, now it is too late. Krishna will drag us back home, back to Godhead. So that is the fearlessness that a devotee has. Srila Prabhupada, at the age of 70, he crossed the ocean in a freighter. No sane man would do it. This owner of Scindia ship company, she told Prabhupada, Buddhe tu mar jayega. Old man, you will die. That's what she said. But Prabhupada was fearless because he is always thinking about Krishna and his focus is how I can fulfill the instruction of my Guru Maharaj. That gives one fearlessness. Also, sannyasi is meant to be fearless because he's always with Krishna. He's never alone. Tatteyanukampam susamikshmano bhunjan evatma kritam vipakam ridvagvapurbhir vidhan namaste jivet yo mukti pade satayabha. This is a verse given by Lord Brahma in 10th Canto, chapter 14, Prayers of Lord Brahma. Text 8. My dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. So that is the mood of a pure devotee. He is always taking shelter of Krishna with his body, words, and heart. He understands whatever difficulties I have, it's because of my past misdeeds, and Krishna is only giving me a token reaction. When we go out of our comfort to share Krishna with others, for example, book distribution, or we take some service which can of course take some time out of our personal endeavors or pursuits, we are actually giving our body in Krishna's service. We are giving our heart in Krishna's service. When we are inviting somebody for Janmashtami, When we are giving somebody prasadam, we are actually giving our body, mind, and heart to Krishna. And that thing will purify us of so many sinful reactions that we have done in the millions of lifetimes. Krishna gives us a token reaction. Sometimes we have difficulties in our service, but they are just token reactions to the past misdeeds. And Krishna prepares us to go to the back home, back to Godhead. We see so many examples of sannyasis such as His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Swami, His Holiness Kadam Kanan Swami, who faced death, but they were not bewildered by it and they were not fearful. When Kadam Kanan Maharaj was in his last days, His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami, who is his spiritual master, he asked him that you don't have to chant. You are already so emaciated, you don't have the strength to chant. And Kadam Kanan Maharaj said to Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj, please don't give me that instruction. He would just chant in his mind. He would chant so softly, so slowly, that it would take the entire day to chant him 16 rounds. So Kadam Kanan Maharaj did not stop chanting even towards the end of his life. Even when his own spiritual master says you don't have to. That is the dedication of a pure devotee. He doesn't want to cut corners. When Haridas Thakur was leaving this world, his body was not in a, he had some kind of ailments. So Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, Haridas, do you have any ailments? And Haridas Thakur says, no, Mahaprabhu, my only ailment is that I am not able to finish my 192 rounds every day. That's my only ailment. So devotee does not consider one's bodily difficulty or mental difficulties. He's only thinking, how can I serve Krishna? And that gives him bliss, even in so-called external difficulties. So for such devotees who are so dedicated, Krishna says in chapter 12, text 6 and 7. Chapter 12, text 6 and 7, he says, but those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We'll open for any questions, corrections, or reflections. Hare Krishna.
In the Kautukarnav Maharaj's early days in the 1980s, Prabhu, he was actually shot right next to his spine, and that was one of the times when he really took to Krishna consciousness very seriously. There was conflicts and many issues, and he lived through that, and then he came to a stage where his Guru Maharaj thought he can start initiating disciples, and we see that we hear almost every week from his disciple, Keshav Swami Maharaj, and we see how the Guru Parampara has come forward in that regard. Just a reminder of that. We were saying about Adbhuta of Krishna. There's a verse in the Bhagavatam where Prahlad Maharaj where Nrsimhadev tells Prahlad Maharaj, Satyam Vidhatum Nijapritya Bhashitam Vyaptim Cha Bhuteshu Akhileshu Chakmana Adrishya Ati Adbhuta Rupam Udvahan Stambhe Sabhaya Na Mrigam Na Manusham. So, Nrsimhadev doesn't say, Shukadeva Goswami says it, that only to prove the words of Prahlad Maharaj to be true, Nrsimhadev came, and what form did he come in? Adrishya, it has never been seen before. And Ati Adbhuta, the most amazing form. Ati Adbhuta Rupam Udvahan. And how did he come up? Stambhe Sabhayam, from the assembly of pillars. Stambhe Sabhayam, Na Mrigam Na Manusham, neither man nor demon. So, I was neither beast nor man. So, the Ati Adbhuta was
Yes. Adbhut comment. Thank you, Bro. Thank you for adding that. One last question or reflection, in person or online.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you for the beautiful, sweet Katha, Prabhu. It's a lot of reminder, a lot of reflection, but one which I really want to work more upon is the devotee. It's like loving the devotee, from the heart and serving them. Like it's difficult. Sometimes the ego, sometimes a lot of, like you said, the material things come in our mind, but that's just one thing which I want to deeply reflect and kind of work on. So,
Thank you so much.
thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Piyush Prabhu. And I understand that you serve the devotee so lovingly in San Jose Mantra Room every Tuesday. You prepare 7 courses or 10 every day. Every day there are some kind of the programs, either yoga class or Bhagavad Gita, Kirtans. So you definitely imbibe that mood. So we definitely need to learn it from you. So we seek your prayers and blessings.
We seek yours, Prabhu, but it's just nothing, Prabhu. It's a work in progress, but I pray that it deepens and it grows. Thank you for consistently praying and serving us, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील